Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Duckville here. Welcome to a StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm replay cast. We've got a Zerg versus Protoss on the cards today. Hope you're all ready for a long one. It does go for a little while. I've got my water ready to go. I'll be able to have a little sip every now and then if my voice starts to get a little bit croaky, which it may. I've been casting a whole bunch of replays today. We'll introduce our players and we'll talk about their particular styles and the map and maybe fill in some time if need be. Let's get rolling. Down at the bottom left hand side as our red Zerg player currently playing for Complexity Gaming. It is Moosegills. So Moosegills is a young Zerg player who has been really making some waves and has been doing really well as part of Team Complexity. He's we'll see how it goes, because this could be a really interesting one, especially considering the positions here, as these two players really do like their macro. But we'll see. His opponent up at the top right hand side, currently playing for TTSeed Gaming, it is Bones. Bones is a Canadian Protoss who loves a little bit of macro. You certainly can't fault him for that. That is one of his specialties, I guess you could say, is calm, passive gaming. This is what Bones does love to do. I've been watching Bones replays, streaming and all, and of course chatting to him as well, and asking him for questions about, asking him for help with my networking Wi-Fi issues that he then couldn't help out with, and I was really sad. No, I'm joking, it's okay, Miles. But yeah, I've been watching for quite a while. I don't think I've ever seen him cheese. Not once. Not a single proxy, not a single cannon rush or anything like that. And, oh. Well, that comes to an end, I guess, as we see a particular cannon rush that has been used a little bit as of late. It's been something that Protoss players have seemingly just discovered, and this has been used a little bit, and we'll see Bones probably glitch his way out of this. Yeah, he does glitch his way out with the probe, cancels a pylon, places another pylon actually. Okay, he's going to cancel that one as well. Good idea. Really nice movement with his workers here. Now, well, I don't know what to say now, because I've never really seen him cheese like this before, so I'm not sure how to react and how to predict what he's going to do here. But has to cancel one of the cannons down on the low ground. The second one will probably have to be cancelled as well. We put another pylon up. Now, what I really want to see, when you're cannon rushing this kind of position, as you can see, Bones has been able to establish these cannons here on the low ground. What you really do need to do, I think this second one should have actually been just slightly to the left. You want to get the fire going on the hatchery as much as possible, and I'm pretty sure this does not reach the hatchery. I don't know, I haven't done this rush for a long time because I veto this map because I hate it. But what he's doing here, now you may be thinking, what are these extra cannons for? These are just to establish a perimeter here where the Zerg cannot set up any defensive structures to try and poke down the pylons there. What you can do, if you're careful, is put a spine crawler over here and poke down the pylons. So what you want to try and do is make sure that you can chip away at any spine crawlers before they get into position. So he's done a good job of that. It looks, oh wow, that probe is just sticking around for the moment. Looks like a probe also does go down. Alright, so this is going to be the end of this rush. This is as far as we're going to get. But Bones has already done a significant amount of damage. We've killed off a couple of workers. We have lost quite a few of those links as well. Moosegills has reacted really nicely. This is one thing, like a lot of the times some Zerg players will say, it's a cannon rush, I just need like one spine crawler. No, you do need a couple. And wow, nice movement. Really great play from Moosegills here. He's done a really good job of holding back a lot of the damage. Losing that queen is a little bit sloppy, but I think he should be okay from now. As we can see, retargeting the cannon there, nicely done by Bones to take out one of the spine crawlers. He should be, this would be an interesting fight. I'm pretty sure this would be a win for the cannon, yeah. Whoa, just a loss for the cannon. 2 health left on that spine crawler. So either way, this is effectively cleaned up in a way, because you can still drone, you're not going to lose the hatchery. Realistically, the only thing that could get a little bit messy here is if another probe came in and tried to, you could probably send like 2 probes on that spine crawler. It would be the funniest thing ever. But Moosegills is going to move his spine crawler inside the main up. Going to let the tank do a little bit of, the queen do a little bit of the tanking there and take care of that pile. Back at home, we can see that Bones has been able to establish his natural. He's got a cannon, a gateway, and a nexus here completing and right now. And 17 probes inside the main, plus the extras on the gas. So he's looking pretty, I don't know. It's hard to say that he's in a lead at the moment because really we've only got a couple of probes ahead. He's sort of, that's kind of, I guess that's a little bit more normal to be this kind of number of probes ahead. Oh no, Moosegills, do not lose that Overlord. Alright, should be alright. Anyway, let's look at the resources lost. So it looks as if, I mean, it's pretty even looking at it. Like the actual units lost doesn't really tell the story here because of course they're cheap Zerg units and it doesn't really matter about that. Let's have a look at the actual units lost. 2 queens and a lot of lings. I suppose that is a lot of drones, and at this point you would expect that that Moosegills would have a little bit of a higher drone count. He'd be cranking out, like 7 to 8 drones at this point, and be starting to heading towards that 50 mark of the drones. But because he's had to lose so many of those, lose the drones through building lings instead of drones, then he is a little bit lower in the count. But I mean, Bones has also lost quite a lot himself. He's lost all the pylons, the cannons as well, and of course a little bit of mining time, given that he did lose some of those probes. So it's an interesting position of the game and an interesting pace of the game now, because things change up a little bit when you do a cannon rush like that, and it's sort of relatively successful, but not really in a way. It sort of it makes odd things happen, and this is one of them. You can try and catch out your Zerg opponent. Their third base is a lot later than it normally is, and so Bones is going to try and do something about that by building up some cannons here just outside the third base on the high ground. Some links have come across. Great play from Moosegills to be able to sense that something was coming along. So he is going to make that cancel and then take down the pylon. So Bones looking for something cheeky, but was not able to get it up and running. He does have another probe on the way out. I'm not sure. What is this probe up to? He's checking the third base. Okay. So he's checking for another possible hatchery that may go down, or possibly looking to get a pylon down for a follow-up attack. But we can see that on Bones' side of the map, there isn't really that much going on in terms of a possible secondary big follow-up push that you can sometimes do with a cannon rush like that. So Bones throws down the third base. We do have a second Phoenix, sorry, just about to pop out. But what's going to defend this base here? We can see that the pylons are going to be just coming through now, but the links are still coming across the map now. We'll see if Bones is able to get a cannon down in time. I'm not sure if he'll be able to. The link should try and at least snipe that probe off if they can. That'd be really good, but it looks like the probe will escape for now. Mothership core should be fine to defend this position. It's not really enough links to actually take this down, so Bones will force his opponent out of there. Forces him back, gets a couple of gateways down, the cannon is on the way. He'll be sitting on a nice economy once this completes, and he is also blocking off his opponent's fourth for now, so that bodes quite well. But Moosegills is going to follow this up. We've got Hydras on the way, or Hydra Den being built up. An infestation pit is also coming through. Lots of drones now as Moosegills wants to get his economy back into that awesome shape that you normally will see a Zerg at this point, which is around about that sort of 70 mark to anywhere up to 80, depending on how busy you want to get with your economy. But Moosegills is slowly getting things back to where he would normally want to be. But a couple of Spore Crawlers now on the way, making sure that he's thoroughly defended at his bases. In fact, interesting to see, yeah, he's gone double Spore Crawler at the third and the natural and the main, so he's got a lot of defense against these Phoenix that'll be poking around. And interestingly, a second and third Stargate is now coming through from Bones, so he's going to be showing us well, what could be a really interesting air-based play here. So this is something which, of course, we did see 91 doing quite a lot of at IEM New York, I believe it was. You get your third Stargate up and running, and then just crank out a whole bunch of Void Rays. Doesn't even matter about other stuff on the ground, like you can get some sentries and maybe some zealots or something like that, but what you do want to get is a lot of Void Rays, and with proper micro, you can even deal with Hydras. So we'll see how Moosegills is going to handle this. He does have a fourth base on the way. Phoenix in the middle of the map, probably going to lift up this Ling here, take care of that little guy there, but other than that, they haven't really been able to get too much done. Now getting sniped off by the Hydras. Good positioning there by Moosegills. He takes care of one of the Phoenix, and another one is getting very low on health there. 8 health left over on that Phoenix, but Nevertheless, they will escape for now. Probably should be taking out those extra lings that are there. Hallucination now pushing across the map, and Bones is, well, he's starting to get these forces together. More Void Razor on the way, +1 to air weapons is being researched, along with +1 to ground armor for those units on the ground. And I don't know, this is really, this should turn out as a little bit more of a macro game here, I would imagine, after a very interesting start, a start of me talking about how I've never seen Bones cheese or anything like that, but opens up with a cannon rush, makes me look the fool. But we do have Moosegills now powering up his macro, sitting at 81 drones, looking very handsome with his economy right now. Looks as if the Phoenix are going to try and come across and get some damage done on the third, but really get too much done. One thing from Moosegills that is slightly lacking is the creep spread. There's one tumor that's pushing out through the middle of the map, and I think what we will see from him is we don't have another queen. We've just got the 4 queens that are out at the moment, so he's not going to have the ability to really spread that creep through the middle, which is something that I really do like to see from Zerg players on this map. It's such a big map, there's such wide open spaces, it is always good to spread it in multiple chains as well. You want to have multiple chains of the tumors pushing through the various sides of the map, because you really do need to have that creep spread there. It makes Hydra so much more efficient, it gets you nice surrounds with roaches and stuff like that, and also of course, you know, it can help with reinforcements, which is the main part of having really good creep spread. So Moosegills is going to push across. We do have a lot of Void Rays up and running for our Protoss player. Currently sitting on 10, there's a few more that are just about to pop out. They have got their +1 on their air weapons, but also Moosegills is going to try a little segmented attack here, just sort of pushing in the front door, having a little poke, trying to kill off that pylon. It's got 1 health left, 1 Hydra, just, there you go, spits on it, the pylon goes down. A couple of the abductions there, nicely done by Moosegills. Unfortunately, does not catch the Void Rays, has to use 2nd, 3rd, and even a 4th abductor trying to make sure that he can kill off those Void Rays and make that efficient. Grabs another couple of the Void Rays. The Hydras at the back are getting a decent amount of damage done, but I'm not sure this is the best position to be attacking here from Moosegills. He's suffering the extra damage coming in from the Photon Overcharge on the Nexus. He's just sort of, some of these roaches are just kind of honking away at the Nexus and not really getting anything done. Just a little bit of an unfortunate attack position there from Moosegills, but he does push in the front door with some roaches and Hydras and should be able to clear up quite a lot of these units. The probes from Bones are forced down to the back there. They're going to try and get away from this, and Bones unluckily positioning the archives at the front. The Hydras come forwards and take it down before it's able to finish Storm. And that is quite a kick in the teeth there for Bones. I mean, that is going to delay his Storm Tech, which you really do need to get with sort of like a support skill to utilize the Void Rays. The Void Rays are great for dealing out damage. Obviously, they're fantastic at tearing apart roaches and things like that. But what they do have trouble with is large clumps of Hydras. Like, you can have all the micro in the world, but if there's, you know, 20, 30 Hydras bearing down on you, and a lot of Lings getting some work done as well, it is still very difficult to make those the Void Rays get all the defense up that you need, which obviously can be quite difficult. So the positioning here is really good from Moosegills. Much better this time. Just sort of establishing a line where he wants to sit here and say, alright, come in, and I'll try and fight you this way. There's a much better position. He knows that Storm is not up because he would have seen the Templar Archives flickering while he was attacking it and while he took it down. But Bones is doing his own little bit of just sort of, I guess, backdoor attacking here off to the side. There is a pylon up towards the top left-hand side of the map, but these Zealots will come through. They do get cleaned up, though. A few Lings and Hydras just poking along, and it looks as if we are going to have Bones now pushing forwards. He still doesn't have Storm, so he can't really attack into this, but the Hydras have been able to safeguard the Lings. The Lings were free to pick apart the mineral line, take down the Nexus, and Moosegills is going to be very happy with the position that he's in at the moment. 192 supply for him. Now looking at pushing down the attempted third base of Bones down here at the other position, and this the Ling Hydra composition here is looking very snazzy, as back at home we can see triple Evo upgrades cranking out the melee 2, in fact 2 on everything. Let's just say there's a lot of 2s going on. It's like Valve development here. There's just a lot of 2s and no 3s yet. But Spine Crawlers are going to be up, ready to defend the base. The Hydra, the Ultralisk Cavern ready to go. We've already got a couple of those Ultras out on the map. These guys are going to be the big beefy tanks of the army. What we want to see here from Moosegills is the Ultralisk soaking up a lot of the fire. Of course, the Lings with their adrenal glands and their +2 to weapons actually do a lot of damage as well. The Hydras, of course, do a fantastic amount of damage when they've got their missile and carapace upgrades. And so Moosegills is going to be feeling relatively comfortable. I'm just kind of worried about the support units. One thing that you do really like to see... What? Did he just kill one of his... Okay, he was getting another... Wait, what? I'm really confused. He just killed a Hydra for basically no reason. That was really odd. But anyway, one thing you really do want to see on the Zerg side of things is a lot of support units. Getting these Vipers out, you need Blinding Cloud. You need Blinding Cloud to deal with the units on the ground. You need Abductions to take care of the Void Rays as well. And here we go. It looks like the Ultras are going to try and catch up the Templar, but a good recall gets Bones out of there. Gets him out of danger because that was a little bit of a worrisome position to be in. And he'll head back home. His Void Rays and Templar all intact. This Archon is now going to be stuck inside the base because they can't fit. They need to go on a diet. They're actually stuck. Yeah, is he going to... I don't know if he's going to notice it, but... Ultra's getting a little bit too close to comfort. The Chandeliers of the Sky, the Void Rays, are going to be activating their prismatic alignment and taking care of them very quickly. But this gives time for the Hydras to move into position here. So we'll see if, if Moosegills is able to take advantage of the position he's in. But the Storm is prepared. So this is the one thing he has to be careful of. Attacking up the cliff into this sort of position here. That is a beautiful spot for a Storm. And you never want to be jumping into that with a lot of Hydras because you will be torn apart. So... just looking back at what we've got at the moment, we've got Moosegills powered up his way to 3 and 4 base economies, jumping up past the cannon rush that he dealt with relatively well, and Bones, of course, was looking for his own 3 base economy, but has suffered at the hands of the Ling Hydra attack that was able to take the Nexus down, but has able to keep things together. He's kept, you know, the pieces of the puzzle all here, but can he solve it? That's I guess that's a question for our Protoss player from Seed, Bones, at the moment. He's got to make sure he keeps the Void Rays alive. We've got to get some good Storms down, and just sort of make sure that we're progressing on the tech path as well. Need to get the extra Forge spinning up and grabbing those extra little upgrades, such as +3 to weapons. We want +2 to armor, and even heading towards maybe even grabbing some extra damage on the Void Rays would be quite handy as well. But he's going to grab a Fleet Beacon. Possible preparation for a Muta switch here, or maybe in preparation for some Tempest to deal with Broodlords or something like that. We'll see. But Bones has found an auxiliary base off to the side here. Moosegills attempting to get a 6 base up and running, but was not allowed that one for the time being. That has been denied. And still the question remains, like, I know he doesn't have any supply at the moment, but the question remains, are we going to see some more support units here for Moosegills? I mean, he's got upgrades coming out the wazoo at the moment, but he's going to have a lot of trouble if he doesn't get some more support units. The Vipers, and then of course the Infestors are also quite handy because you can fungal down the Void Rays, and not to mention if you can fungal some of these, even some of these units like the Immortals and stuff like that, it's always nice and handy. So I'm just a little bit worried about the support units at the moment, but either way, he's getting good progression on his tech at the moment. Double Spire, researching the air weapons and air carapace, making sure that he is prepared for a possible switch if need be. Switching over to Mutas, we were talking about, a really good switch. The one problem with switching to Mutas is it costs a heck of a lot of gas. Now, he does have enough for a huge flock of Mutas, but is he going to be able to get the damage done? There are some Archons, there are some Templar, there's obviously going to be some cannons, and soon there are going to be Phoenix with Anian Pulse Crystals, which means that they will be able to easily deal with those Mutas. So, just kind of curious as to what Moosegills is going to be up to here. Is he going to try and push the 4th base, or is he going to just let it all happen here? Because if he lets the 4th happen, then it's going to be very easy for Bones to try and really secure his position in the mid or late game here. So Moosegills is going to try and push forwards. He's keeping that line of units here so that he can come in and crush. The one small problem that you worry about here is this little position, but the one Viper has now had a feedback on top of it, so there is no Blinding Cloud. There are no there was one small Blinding Cloud there, but there is no abduction to try and protect some of these, or to try and take out some of these units. The Storm a little bit late there, unfortunately, but Bones has been able to secure this 4th base, and you would say that is securing the, like fully securing the fourth. By the time that Moosegills can get back across the map and attack again, that the fourth base should be up and running. So he's going to switch back into the mutas. We were talking about it before. These guys are going to have some decent upgrades. +2 on their flyer attacks is going to be up very soon. And 36 mutas are now just popping out. 36 mutas have now just come out here for Moosegills. He's going to try and make something happen with these guys. There's another Viper there. Moosegills does lose his 5th base though. Re-establishes the hatchery there. We would like to see him try and clean out these bases across to the right hand side, or maybe even try and take another hatchery up here, just to make sure that his economy is going to be able to stick with the efficiency of the Protoss army, because you look at it, and this starts to move into the most efficient territory that you can get with Protoss. Archons are wonderful. The Void Rays, when they power up, will destroy everything. And of course Storm is also there, but Bones has been caught out of position a little bit here with the mutas finding the 3rd base completely exposed, but Phoenix are now out. We have 5 Phoenix already out on the field for Bones. His triple Stargate play earlier on in the game, able to help him out for the moment. We'll see what he's going to be able to do here, because this is an interesting position for Bones. He does need to keep a little bit of pressure on. I would like to see him perhaps send some Zealots or DTs across to the sides to check this out. He's been doing a great job. Whoa, mutas, careful there. Just be careful there, buddy. There's a lot of Archons, and the Pit Fist is not something you want to mess with when you're a big flock of mutas. But they do have some Corruptor support right now, so the Phoenix won't be as much of a hassle. But Moosegills is, as we said before, struggling to try and get these bases across to the right-hand side, so he has decided to get these ones up on the left. But Archons and Void Rays and Immortals do wonderful damage, and they will be able to take care of that hatchment very quickly. And we'll see what... Well, I mean, Moosegills has now got a huge count of mutas down. 40 mutas now out on the field. Corruptor's going to be backing them up. And we will see. Storm, big Storm there, could help out. Does get a really great Storm on top of the flock of the mutas, and that does a decent amount of damage. But where are the Phoenix? Here they come. We've got some Phoenix now rolling across. Anti-Impulse Crystals is done. There are some more Storms available here for Bones, and he does... he catches a little bit of the Corruptor group there, but they do fall back. And somehow a drone got all the way down to the bottom right-hand side without being spotted by these Zealots, but they will be spotted soon. Moosegills going to fall back. He's researching the Locust upgrade. Of course, the Enduring Locust help with the Swarm Host, giving them a little bit longer life, with their Locust being able to push across further and try and put that pressure back on your opponent a little bit more. But I'm just kind of worried for, again, we're talking about support units, and when you go into Muta Corruptor, it gets a little bit weird building support units. Like, of course, Vipers are great because they can fly, but you know, there's no real room for Infestors because they can't keep up with the mutas, just because they're so slow. So you're going to have a hard time actually getting a fungal off on big groups of Phoenix like this. So the Phoenix will be able to constantly dance around and try and take out your units, given that they do have that extended range up in the air. But how did that Queen survive? This has been a game of things surviving on like 5 health. That's nuts, man. But as you can see, Bones now with a couple of Immortals just strolling across the map to the left-hand side. He's going to pick up a few of these drones, kill them off with the Phoenix there. Lots of energy still available on a few of these guys, so they should be able to take care of most of these drones. And now, is Moosegills going to capitalize on the fact that he knows the Phoenix are over here on the left-hand side of the map? Can he take care of a base somehow? Maybe take care of this this 3rd base here. If he can do that, that would seriously help him out in depleting his opponent's resources. Given that Bones has not been able to establish another base just yet, these Phoenix flying into very dangerous territory. 2 Storms get a huge amount of damage done on them. The Phoenix now trying to come about to intercept and see if they can take care of the Colossi, of the Corruptors or the mutas, but Moosegills has been able to get another base up. Needs some Spine Crawlers here. Maybe even this Swarm Host just to defend this position here as one Zealot moves across. But Swarm Hosts have started to come out on the field. The infamous unit that does put things in a bit of a weird situation as Moosegills, well, he's having trouble with his economy, so he gets out pretty much one of the most efficient units in the game, the Swarm Host, as we can see, has quite a few of them out on the field. They're, for some reason, just dawdling above ground right now. They need to get back underground if they're not going to be doing anything, or at least moving. Drops them down, gets some locusts out there. Bones still has a really good army. Like, let's not debate that. He's still got a lot of Void Rays, a lot of Archons. We've got these Templar that are here as well, and he certainly can compete when it comes to the like a big fight. He'll definitely be able to win that, but he just kind of, he can't leave his position at the moment. Apart from the Phoenix, which are very fast, very mobile units, he can't really leave the safety of his base right now, because if he does, then his economy is going to be in tatters. As the Mutas move through, we may see a couple of big storms here to save the day. No, the Mutas just take their pickings and fall back. A total of, wow, that is a lot of units killed. 85 workers have been killed off by Moosegills in this game. 46 by Bones as he attempts to try and, well, see if he can position himself to deal with these Swarm Hosts. They are here in the middle of the map. Can't really do too much about them just at the moment. The Mutas are now flying through as well, just trying to keep those Swarm Hosts safe. Moosegills doing a really good job of just holding up his opponent for now. As we can see, Bones has been stuck on this base, this one mining base, for almost, I'd say it's nearly 5 to 6 minutes now, and that is really going to start to hurt him as we move towards the late game now, as slowly these units get picked apart and it gets harder and harder to replace them when you don't have the economy backing you up to be able to constantly rebuild some of these units. So one thing we were talking about was the efficiency of the Protoss units, and this gets multiplied. It's a little bit of a force multiplier that's building up here. One of the few players you will ever see who still builds one of these just because he has the time to do it. Bones now building a Mothership Core, just morphing in the Mothership Core. I'm not sure if a Protoss morphs. Does Protoss morph? I think they upgrade. I don't know. Anyway. Mutas and Corruptors now pushing through. They're going to try and take out the Templar Archives. A good choice there, but the Mothership Core, the Mothership has now completed, so we get this cloak, which really does help out when pushing against these Swarm Hosts. So Bones may be able to start marching back across the map. He just made, he could just say to hell with it and just force a base trade right now. The Phoenix could stay back or at least keep an eye on the Mutas, but I don't know. This is a really tough decision, but Bones finds some of the Swarm Hosts in the middle of the map here, lifting them up and trying to smack them all down as quickly as he can. Keep in mind, these are armored units, so they get torn apart by the Void Rays here. And yep, the big base trade is on. Bones is going to try and have to deal with the fact that everything he loves and holds dear back at home is now going to be just bent and broken by the Zerg as he pushes back across. Moosegills knows that this is a big and powerful force that he has to try and deal with, but unfortunately he has been caught out at every turn. Infestors and Swarm Hosts have all been ripped apart by the lasers and the emanations of these Archons here, but he's doing what he can. Back on his opponent's side of the map, we see a lot of the tech has been destroyed by Moosegills here. He's got just a few more buildings off to the side that he needs to take care of, but where is Bones going to build? He's got space for a Nexus. Sorry, he's got money for a Nexus over here. And now Bones just checking out the base across to the bottom right-hand side. Rest of these forces of the Protoss now pushing through will be easily able to clean up this base right now. Keep in mind, the Mothership does have recall. So, well, I was going to say, if Bones can get a Nexus up, then he may be able to recall to it and then just hold position for a little bit. But looks as if this probe has been caught out, and Bones has only got 3 probes left on the map. We've got one here in a very odd position. There is a hallucinated Colossus just doing a little bit of poking and prodding around here. And, well, what exactly do you do here? I'm trying to figure it out because, like, Bones is going to have a hard time in establishing things. Interestingly, okay, there we go. Alright, so he's set up a Nexus down here at the bottom of the map here. This is actually a really good decision. We'll get to why in just a second, but we can see now that he's just sort of positioning his Phoenix to try and intercept the Mutas in the middle of the map, but they haven't been able to find that group of Mutas and the Corruptors just yet, so he's still looking around for that. Now, the reason why I like this decision is because it's actually right next to the main mining base that Moosegills has available. So we were talking about before how Bones was not able to move away from his bases because if he lets the Mutas get into position on top of the third base, then it dies, right? So what we can do here is with the Void Rays just popping over the cliff, saying hello to the Spine Crawlers and the Spore Crawlers, just destroying them very swiftly as they do, you're actually fine to just sort of come back here. It's a very close space, so I think that's actually a really good decision here for Bones. So he will start trying to chip apart some of the leftover units, maybe some of these Overlords here as well. Microing back and forth. The Mutas and Corruptors over on the top left-hand side of the map are just trying to keep an eye on what's going on over here. But Moosegills does not know that the base is down here. Now he finally knows. The Zergling pops to all the units now that the Void Rays. Here we go. This is what I was talking about. He's able to move in here. He's going to take that hatchery. Goodbye. And then just go back to the Nexus, protect this position, and then just regen shields, and then come back again once the shields are ready to go. So things are, this is really interesting for Bones at the moment. A probe looks like it is going to head out on the map. Some drones are mysteriously switching across to the top left-hand side of the map. Bones may be able to catch this out. If he just moves up to the side, yep, catches it. And that's going to be the end of those drones here. So really good foresight there from Bones to just keep these Phoenix in the middle. Because they're very mobile units, you can do something like that. And a huge batch of storms on top of the Mutas rips them apart. And now things are going to start to really get hectic for our Zerg player. Now, Bones is not out of the woods just yet. I still do think that he has to be very careful with protecting this position, because he's not able to, or in fact, very nice, very cute. I saw this probe earlier and I was like, what's this guy doing? So he heads up to the top and says, alright, I'm getting ready to build an assimilator if Moosegills decides to dive on the Nexus. So very, very good decision here. Now, Moosegills is on 0 drones. He's on 40 minerals. And he can't actually build a drone even if he wanted to. So this game is pretty much over right now. So really good playmaking from Bones here to just try and set up the base down here at the bottom side next to his opponent's main mining base. Cleaned up the last few of the drones that were there. And this is, well, this is pretty much it. I mean, Bones can... Has he got... There's like one... Yeah, just one probe here. As long as this one probe stays protected, then this game is pretty much over. You could force a draw, but I don't think it'll happen. A good Protoss of Bones' level would not let that draw happen. He's going to keep this probe protected. Where did the mothership go? Oh, he killed it. Okay. I didn't even notice that. But good playmaking from Bones here. As I said, I do kind of think this is over. A couple of good storms and all these units are gone. Of course, the Archons can throw up their big, powerful fist. 40 mins, GG. 40-minute game, 40 minerals left for Moosegills, and that will be it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed that one. I'll catch you all next time. Here, as you can see, 47 damage to bio units and then the 34 damage against other standard targets. His storms have also been wonderful, just spreading them out across the battlefield, doing really, really nicely there. And for minigun, he's been sticking with a much more